Hey guys, so nice to be back. You don't even know. It has been a few months since I have been on this channel and in front of a camera, especially. So, for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Jacqueline, Jay for short, and this is Storytelling by Jay. I am actually doing a rebrand for the title is going to be probably the rebrand for regular folks. I want to share my journey like in rebranding myself. I think it's so important to show up even when we're tired, even when we're doubting, even when we feel like we're not as consistent. I promised myself that today, Monday, the 4th, I was going to film because it was important to me to show up again, start using my voice, start sharing. I was supported by someone who's close to me that I need to share my journey. I need to share why I decided to do this channel and that it could possibly help other people. I am embarking in a 8-week journey to rebrand myself, and I didn't sleep well last night. I feel like I have the huge bags under my eyes. I did not feel up to it or inspired. As a matter of fact, I was going to skip it, and I'm like, I have to force myself. For me, I'm someone that works out and I am always consistent with my workouts. That's not something that I am inconsistent with. That's just who I am. And I have been like that for years. And in the beginning, I wasn't always consistent with working out. After my injury, I wasn't. And, anyways, I say all that to say that I have to put the same kind of mindset that I do for working out to making this channel work, to launching a business. And that means that I show up in the capacity and in the place that I'm in. There are going to be days that you don't feel like working out. There are going to be days that you don't feel like showing up. There are going to be days that you're not inspired, motivated, and that's okay. And if I can have maybe like 4 hours of sleep last night and kind of going through something personal in my life where I really wasn't feeling like showing up, I hope that that inspires you to show up the best that you can with bags under your eyes. I need to get my nails done. Okay. I need to get my hair done. I could have done a better job on my makeup. I could probably be better at speaking to the camera. I'm someone that has a podcast and I am so much better off camera. There's just so much ease, but once you put a camera, it's a lot harder. So think of anything challenging that you're going through in your life and ask yourself, could I be better at this? When I'll show up when I have my hairs, my nails done, when I can speak better, when I can articulate myself better. And that time is just not going to happen. You just have to do it. So I'm someone, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm someone that has worked with entrepreneurs, specifically women of color who have been in transition of some sort or just doing identity shifts. I worked with corporate baddies who have launched their own business, and I have worked with women who have been in distress. And one thing that I noticed after doing so many interviews and dealing with hundreds of thousands of women now is that they both have something in common. Both of them are very, very fearful. The difference is that only one of them has the capacity to take action so that they can get to that next level. We are speaking to the action takers now. And the way you shift from one to the other, I'm going to be very honest with you, is handling your mental health. Really sitting down with yourself and doing, that shadow work, of course, but really being honest with yourself about where you're at. Do I need to take care of my mental health first rather than launch these business, rebrand, or do this whole thing? And the way you get to that corporate baddie, that person launching a new brand, is by already have a therapist in place. And after speaking with a mental health specialist, you're feeling more grounded, more able to move forward. Then it's that time to start really looking at what can I do to start launching this new brand of myself, this new business, this new identity, this new person, this next level person that I want to become. And rebranding, as many of you know, is not just a change of logo, a change of finding new employment, or even changing your environment. It's the becoming from the inside out. because many of us know that we can change all of the things, right? Women, we are so good at changing our hair, our nails, at changing our environment. But many times, what we need to do is change what's going on inside of us. And that's where the becoming comes in. Who are you now versus who were you then? And navigating that middle. So for me, I've had so many different identities throughout my life, which I have spoken before on this channel. And most recently is having to deal with an injury and then having a disability, having these limitations and the reality of what it would take to pivot. I have gone almost 90% from my injury, and it's been a few years, so I know how to navigate it now. And every day I know that I'm getting better and better, but I may not always be 100%. And this is who the new normal is. And many times we get stuck in that because we're still mourning who that person used to be, right? Because we're so afraid of the next person or the next level, or we don't have all the answers, that we forget to move and we stay stuck. And it's so important to stop accepting who you are now so that you can move forward, knowing what are your limitations. You may not be dealing with a disability or anything like that, but you have your own limitations. You have your own barriers that you have to go through. And knowing and identifying those is so important when you move forward. So who was I then? And who am I now? And who am I becoming? In the path to move forward, you're going to need some proof. You're going to need some help. So after launching this business, I've had a podcast for a long time. Like I said, I worked with some incredible women when they were going through transition. And it's always been this dream of mine to do this rebrand, start working with those women that really want to get to the next level. And how do I do that? I begin with myself, right? I start documenting and sharing my own journey because I love following people when they're at the beginning of something. It's so inspirational to me to then see them move along. It makes me feel like I'm moving along, right? Just that they're taking me along with them. I have gotten the opportunity to work with Impact Labs here in San Diego, and they help businesses get connected with CEOs, chief financial officers, so that you can take that business to the next level. But what I love about them is that they really do focus on the financials of it, not just the other stuff we talk about. And I, for so long, wanting to put this business together, having a job 9 to 5, trying to do all the things was very difficult. And now I kept thinking, I have been doing this for years. I have been wanting to make this work. I've been wanting to do this full time. I've been wanting to do the content creation for such a long time. And I had my own doubts going into it. I was like, what's going to really make it work this time? What's going to really make it happen? Like, I have the proof that I am able to help, women of color to brand themselves, to launch podcasts, to do businesses. So I've done that. And I just had so much doubt in myself that I can get this business going. And you start thinking, like, why? You have helped other women launch and grow their businesses. Why are you so afraid to invest in yourself, believe in yourself? And I think it's because it's so much easier to be a cheerleader than to be the headliner, right? To be the support staff than to be the CEO who's running everything and is ultimately responsible for a lot of people, right? Because the ultimate responsibility doesn't fall on you. You're the support staff, And so all of those things are just coming up. And I had all these doubts, but after speaking with my therapist, it's really figuring it out that you are good just where you are. You have enough social proof. And if you are over the age of 35, even if you're in your 20s, if you have gone through some things in life and you have figured it out, that is enough proof that you can do this. I know that I've had a lot of doubt, but I know that there is proof out there that I have been able to do this. And what more proof is when I've helped other women do it, right? What more proof when I've seen their business succeed, when I've seen people reach out to me and me being able to give them advice, me being able to have this brain where I can step back and see the whole picture, right? Not knowing our skills and our talents and what we can give value to people, I think it's such a detriment. And then not believing that we can do that for ourselves, you know? But again, it's scary. I created the survival kit. It was something that I created because I was going through my own survival journey where I was injured. I was dealing with disability. You know, my funds were running out. I was in distress. And I created something for people so that they can use it while they were in distress. But I am no longer in that place. Now I'm in the rebrand, in the reinvention. And I want to take you guys along with me because not only have I done it for myself, well, not only have I done it for others, but I've done it for myself. And I've always been able to, you know, transmute anything into something. And I think all of us have been able to transmute. If you're still here and you're thriving, and thriving doesn't mean you have millions of dollars or, you know, whatever success in America is nowadays. Thriving is simply rebuilding your life. I was living with people because of what happened. I had roommates and then I got my own place. I was injured and then I was better. And yes, I still have, you know, this disability that gives me limitations, but I am a lot further than where I was. And so we really need to like remind ourselves and sit with ourselves to try and remember that on how far we've come and how far we can really go. And that's like the biggest thing of rebranding and reinventing yourself. I think it's so important to have inspiration more than motivation. And when I think of inspiration, it's not waiting around for inspiration, it's having those people that you follow that inspire you. Like having that first spark, because sometimes we get so stuck that nothing like inspired us. I've definitely had those moments where I felt numb and I was like, what's the point? What is going to be different this time? What's actually going to like help me make this happen? And I want assurance and I want guarantees, but that's just not how life works. And sometimes you just have to get up and do it. And so when I say inspiration, just kind of know what your thing is that gets you going. You know, like what gets you, you're watching something and it just kind of sparks like, oh, all right, I like this person. Oh, okay, I can do this. Hey, I've done this before, or I've done this job or this thing. Why can't I do that thing? And if she can do it, right? On her off days, she didn't sleep well. She's maybe not the best at speaking, whatever it is, right? Because I mean, I'm doing YouTube and there are people out there that are, I mean, amazing, right? When you really look at it. But if there is someone that just feels like a regular person to you, is able to get on camera and tell you what they're doing and kind of just put themselves out there, maybe not in the best light, but still trying and doing it, then make sure you find that. Make sure you find your people that inspire you, a little bit of spark, and that, you know, get you going so that you can get to that next level and you possibly can get in front of the camera and start sharing too. For me, I love watching the Wizard Liz. I love watching her. You know, here's like a really young woman who has all this wisdom and is just her authentic self. Whether you like her or not, you know, she just shows up and shows up for the people who are meant to hear her. I also follow Aaliyah's Face. Like, she's a blogger and she is just like the sweetest. I love her travel adventures and she just feels like a daughter, like a sister. And she doesn't do inspirational. She doesn't like get on the camera to like have these inspirational talks. She just lives this amazing life, but she's so authentic. She's so like, sometimes I just love having her in the background because sometimes she'll jump on camera and kind of talk about her life and not to let things stop you. So just make sure that you may not have these women in real life, right? That's just not where you are right now. But make sure that you have several people that you follow that not just inspire you like get that spark going, but that also inspire you in a way to show up. Do this video. Maybe you don't post it. Do the podcast, do the writing. I have a friend who's writing a book. I'm so excited for her. She started sharing it with people, you know, that she's writing. So we've all kind of kept her accountable, like, hey, how's the book going? Because we're so excited to see that book. So make sure that you have those inspirations that help you take action, that is just not you waiting on motivation, so that you can possibly take that first step that allows you to be consistent. And when you show up half ass and think it could have been better, it could have been perfect, it's okay, because what's important is that you showed up. You showed up, and maybe you didn't show out, maybe you didn't do your best, but you showed up anyway. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found this video helpful. I am doing this 8-week journey on rebranding myself. I am someone that is launching this business, working with Impact Lab, but I'm also someone that is taking the SIE, and that is to go into financial advising. I have a friend who's a financial advisor, and never in my life would I be someone that oh, let me get into financial advising. And to be honest, my first client that I want to work with is myself. I'm honestly doing that because it's just something that I want to do for myself, to educate myself. And if in the future I'm helping people, great. But I've actually found that, one, I study the material and do everything. I actually enjoy it. And it has really nothing to do with content or starting a business, kind of in a way, but find that thing that excites you that you never thought would actually excite you and keep you going even when it gets hard. And content has been one of those things for me where it's hard. I'm just like, I don't want to do it anymore, but then I still do it. Then I still show up. So yeah, try to find that thing that maybe so not even something that was in your radar, like SIE, which is, you know, the first step of a financial advisor exam. But that somehow, some way, it still keeps you going even when it's hard. So right now I have Buy Me Coffee. I have it on my bio. So if I can help you with anything, if you have any questions, you can definitely check that out. If not, make sure to follow my 8-week journey to see my rebranding. And I hope that it helps you. Thank you so much for listening.